Hello, everybody. Captain Marty here. It is Wednesday, September the 18th. It looks like things will start getting back to normal fishing conditions today. I'll tell you, we did have some fishing went on yesterday, mostly on the surf and on the piers. I'll tell you all about that and more, so stay right where you're at.
Ready to enjoy the Outer Banks the way it was meant to be enjoyed? Then you're ready to take the whole family to Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. Start with a walk on the 1,000-foot-long pier to watch the sunrise or a reel in the catch of the day. Some of the best fishing on the East Coast is right here at Jeanette's Pier. Plus, Jeanette's Pier plays host to various events throughout the year, including professional surfing events. For the best day you'll have on the Outer Banks, go to Jeanette'sPier.net or give us a call at 252-255-1501. Jeanette's Pier, milepost 16.5, Nags Head.
Fishing Ocracoke is the ultimate lifetime dream for a lot of people. Captain Ernest with Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can help you achieve that dream to the fullest. Whether you're looking to go offshore for tuna, mahi, and billfish, or inshore for puppy drum, speckled trout, and more, Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can go from 2 feet to 2,000 feet of water. Full day, half day, and evening trips are available. Call Captain Ernest at 252-921-0095. Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner. Make your Ocracoke fishing dream a reality.
All right, so as you might expect, wasn't anything going on offshore, as there's still a lot of sea. The bars are closed off. And when I say the bars, in case you're not from our area, I mean the shoals where the sounds dump out into the ocean. We call that the bar, as in sandbar. That's the most dangerous part, most challenging part of any trip offshore. At Oregon Inlet and Hatteras, they're two of the more challenging inlets on the whole East Coast. But we also have the most modern fleet with boats that are designed with power, sharp bow entries, big flares. They're designed for running the bar. Having said that, every boat has its limit. So that's always a concern when you have a northeast wind, or maybe in Hatteras more of a southerly wind, but it is what it is. As far as the rain, for our inland areas, man, we had a lot over in my area, over in Hyde County, but we were in drought not very long ago. It rained really, really hard. I don't know how many inches we got. I know my pond overflowed in my front yard, but the fishing that was primarily had on the piers. And it wasn't all about the big drum, but it was mostly about the big drum. And by that, I mean, we've been having a great drum bite of the big old sow drum on the end of the piers, Nags Head Pier and Jeanette's Pier. Really, all the piers have had a good run of drum. Each pier has their own little group of people, and if you're interested in learning about it, go out and watch them before you go out and get in the way, because they'll quickly correct you if you do. But there are piers, especially piers that are like Jeanette's, which is owned by the state. There are rules, there are boundaries, and there's etiquette to be learned, and they're happy to tell you what they can. Then that's out on the end of the pier. The rest of the pier, business as usual. And there were some smaller fish caught yesterday. I did see a few pompano and some bluefish. What else did I see? Some yearling and puppy drums caught a little bit closer to the beach. I personally didn't see any speckled trout, but this is getting to be the time of year when we should see them on the piers and in the surf as well. Also, my friend Ashley Crosswaite, she went down. She's a fishing machine, loves to go fishing, and she went down to the surf. I don't even know how she held bottom, but she caught some bluefish, and I think she caught a puppy drum or two as well. So good for her. But today would be a much better day as things, I think, try to settle down a little bit. And if they do, we should have a lot more variety in our catches. We've got stuff moving down now. All the migration is going south, and everything that spent the summer in the Chesapeake Bay is now coming our way. And one of the real crowd pleasers is these bluefish, which are more in number than they have been in a few years, and in more locations, on the piers, in the surf, around the inlet, and back in the sound. That's all good news. So that's what happened east of the sand dunes. Now I'll take a little break, and I'll be right back to tell you about what your opportunities might be in the backcountry.
Hi, I'm Captain Jay Cudworth of the Kokomo with Paradise Dolphin Cruises at Safe Harbor Marina in Wanchese. I want to invite you to take a ride out on the Roanoke Sound to see the majestic bottlenose dolphins up close. As a native, I'll be telling you stories from these waters as a boy growing up in Wanchese. Nature and history have combined to make this area unique, and I love sharing this special place with special people. So come on aboard with me and my crew and experience the real beauty of the Outer Banks. For more information, go online to ParadiseDolphinCruises.com. Again, this is Captain Jay. I look forward to seeing you soon.
So backcountry fishing, I didn't really get any confirmed reports of anybody doing it yesterday. I do feel like they'll be doing it today, and I might have missed something. The backcountry people are very, very covert, sometimes too covert, but I do understand there's a lot of people out there doing it. And when you're trying to get on a particular favorite shoal at night or in the evening, it's a little territorial, but the fish you're going for are very much on the move all the time. They're filling up on blue crabs and shrimp, which are plentiful in the Sound right now. And so they don't advertise a whole lot about what they're doing. Having said that, there are guides that will take you out there and go for a big drum, the North Carolina state fish. And once they're over the slot size, then you have to let them go. But there are some other things biting as well. There are a few bluefish in the catches, and you might catch a slot size drum, because one thing that's held true for the last couple of weeks, all size classes are represented in the Sound. So if you get around the shoreline, maybe you're fishing on the backside of Hatteras Island, or maybe you're fishing around Roanoke Island, wading. Really great time of year because you don't need waders. You don't need anything but a pair of old shoes, and you're very likely to catch a puppy drum. And you're also very likely to catch a bluefish or a black drum as well. There's been a few black drum in the catches in all areas. So the key to all of that is to go to your local tackle shop and get the freshest cut bait that you can. And almost everything we've talked about so far has been the bigger fish. But you can also gear down, because now we're starting to see things on the bottom in the Sound. The sea mullet, spots, the croakers, the real kid pleasers, I call them, are starting to bite. And you can do that with some of these fresh shrimp. Don't buy frozen shrimp at a major retailer. Go to your tackle shop and get some fresh caught shrimp. You can actually eat them. They're eating quality. But take those, or some of these synthetic baits are really good too. Shrimp flavored fish bites, for instance, real popular, stays on the hook really good, and especially good if you're fishing with kids. If you're going after the sheephead, you're going to want to use fiddler crabs. Some of our tackle shops even offer fiddler crabs now. If not, you can dig them up yourself. Go around the shoreline, turn over oyster rocks or any kind of rock, and you're very likely to find the crabs that a sheephead absolutely loves. So you got those options, and there's no excuse for not going fishing. Almost any day on the Outer Banks, you can go somewhere to go fishing. And now, as we're midway through September, we're starting to look forward to that tuna bite offshore, which will be yellowfin tuna and bigger tuna. And then we get into some big eyes, and you got all that going on. And for me, of course, it's not going to be long. It'll be black powder season, muzzleloading season, and looking forward to that. And by the way, before hunting season starts, we'll end with this note. Did you know that the Outer Banks and the Inner Banks, northeastern North Carolina, is the #1 place in the whole United States, and a lot of people tell you the whole world, to see a black bear? That's not something I'm making up. That's the truth. The Alligator River Refuge is just west of Mans Harbor, and that's a good place to start. But before the deer season and the gun season and the shooting starts, that's a refuge anyway. But man, you go out there around the landfill and you'll see some bears every evening. Now, a couple things. Go by the new, well, it's not that new anymore, the refuge office on the north end of Roanoke Island. Get the information, get the rules, and they'll give you a map. And then you want to be out there right at sundown. It's the best time. You can cruise the roads a little bit, which they might be a little bit wet after all this rain, but those roads are in the best shape they've ever been in. But you can go out there and cruise around for an hour or two. We used to take a picnic lunch with us and some KFC or whatever. But right around dark, get around the edge of those landfill fields. And that's a great place. And just take your binoculars. You might want to take some bug spray too, and sit quietly and show the kids some real live bears. When you expand out to the coastal northeastern counties, we have the largest population of black bears in the world. We have black bears over 700 pounds that love these coastal swamps and fields and the agriculture. And it's a big, big deal. My house sits right in the middle, in the epicenter of all this territory, and I have bears in my backyard quite often. So it's something a lot of people visiting the Outer Banks will think, this guy's crazy, but I'm not crazy. At least I don't think I'm crazy anyway, but that's a real deal. So go to the Alligator River Refuge offices. Just drive on through Mania north on Old 64 and you'll see the signs, and go visit. That's a really neat place too. They got a lot of things to see in there, got some neat scientific exhibits, and they'll be happy to tell you everything you need to know. So if you can't get out fishing, go bear watching. Highly recommend it. That's my segment for you today.